Today's video finds us about 250 or so kilometers north of Bangkok, and we're going to go take a look at an old Khmer town. It's kind of interesting. I've been wanting to come over here and take a look at it. I was in this area last week, but it was rainy and I ran out of time, so I didn't have a chance to stop and take a look. Anyway, it's Si Thep. It's an ancient Khmer settlement, and it's actually kind of cool. There's two little settlements here, and they're both surrounded by a moat, and there's tons of like little ruins and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess it's about 5 square kilometers or so, the main site. There's a Mueang and a Mueang Nok. Mueang Nok is the outer settlement, Mueang is the inner settlement. And it's 2 moats that surround the area. And there's 3 main sites inside, even though there's a bunch of smaller, like 54 ancient sites inside. There's a bunch of ponds, and then outside there's supposed to be another 50 other monuments. So we're gonna go and we're gonna walk around and take a look. So when you come up, you have to pay. It's 20 baht to park, and then you have to pay 100 baht for a foreigner or 20 baht for a Thai. And it's open from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. And you pay right there and you get your ticket, and then you can come on into the ruins. And the place is fantastic. On the outside, I stopped and took a couple pictures of the moats. So I'll put those in the video. And then you can see it just has these trees and everything right here. So there's supposed to be, what the lady said is there's a shuttle that can take you around inside of the park, because you have to park, you can't drive your car inside here. So here is the Si Thep Historical Park Information Center, but it looks like they're remodeling it, and they have a temporary gate out here. So this lady here gave me the brochure for English. Said I can actually take a bike. It's about 400 meters in to the first ruin. I said, it's okay, I can walk. So anyway, let's go in here. So we're going this way to the monument, ancient pond. This looks like the little shuttle van that'll come back around. All right, so here we go. He stopped and I jumped on in. Little electric cart. Over there's some of the Khmer relics back behind the information center. I'll have to try to remember to stop and take a look at those when we leave. So you can see out here in the trees some of the minor ruins, they're calling it, which are just some stacks of bricks. Now, this town was completely lost. They had no idea even where it was at after the fall of Ayutthaya. And I guess they sent some people up here to try to find the city. And then they had to come out here and they excavated all this, and they have restored it to what you see now. All right, so we're at our first one. So there's 3 major sites right here together. There's this one, there's the big base over here, and then there's one more prong over there. And then there's a bunch of small bases and everything around. But this one is kind of the highlight right here. This is prong Si Thep. And it's a 13-meter tall prong, and it has the laterite stones all around the base, as you can see, and then it has the bricks. So they estimate that this was built somewhere between the 11th to the 13th century. And there's signs that they renovated it, and they were renovating it at the time when this settlement was abandoned. So you can see the Khmer styling for sure. And the prong was probably taller than it is now. You can see how it would have went up to a little dome at the very top, but it's kind of missing. And then it has the false doors that you see. And it has one door on the west side. And it's supposed to have had like the wall with the naga and everything. This would have probably been into a figure, but it's just completely gone. I'm not sure what that says. I think it says keep out. So this is the only door. And when this was originally built, it was Hindu, and then it was converted into Buddhism later on. You can see I got holes here for some reason. Now I thought that said keep out, but it says something in Thai like 3 heads or something like that. So here is the prong. Yeah, it's in pretty rough shape. There's not a whole lot left. None of the lintels or anything like that are still here. So you can see the birds and everything inside. They have all the chicken wire up there to keep them out, but they're still in there. And they would have had an image right there. And you can see the difference in the brick from these laterite stones. And then we would have had fake or faux doors all around. And that would have been the outer wall. And over there looks like where there had been a naga. Okay, so you can see around the area. So there's some of the ponds that they had over there. And it's kind of cool. They have these holes right here. I'm not sure what they did with them. I wonder if they had like some wooden columns up here, like a wooden cover for the walkway that's long gone. And people have came and put 1-baht coins in these. And you can see the bases, the walls. This here would have been a building that was shaped like a crucifix. Would have been another prong right there. And some more bases. And then they would have had a place there for the water. And then over there, looks like some naga. It would have been a wall with the naga. And the naga were what the Khmer used to separate the earth from heaven, I believe. Okay, let's go over there and look at that second, like kind of the base of the prong over there. So you can see this would have been a place for water. It still holds a little bit of water. And then they lined it with the laterite stones. And that tree has been ate by some termites. Now it's just this grassy area. And it has the laterite stones just kind of scattered here. This would have been a pretty substantial Khmer settlement. So when this was abandoned, it just went to the jungle and it was completely lost. You can see here, here's some of the naga. Now I had to switch phones. My camera on my phone just kept overheating. So I had to go to my backup camera. So hopefully the quality will still be okay. It is so hot today. So you can see some of the little figures and everything. They haven't done much with them. They're just kind of sitting out here. And some more. This would have been on the prong itself, I'm sure. And then the naga over there. And this would have been a massive stone. You can see the holes they drilled in it. Yeah, these would have been the naga. And then some more of the naga. Oh, and here's some of the lintels. So this is what is really important for the archaeologist. Oh, these are replicas. That's what it says there. So the archaeologists can come and they can see all of these little designs in it, and they know exactly from the styling about the era it was built, who was in charge, even the sect of the religion. They know all that from the shapes. And then these here would have been the places they would have put that little Shiva stone on top. And then these would have been on the sides of the entrances. And that would have been on the top also over there. Okay, so let's go look at this one here. This one is quite big. It's just down to the base though. Right next to this site, they have this, it's a replica of the Wheel of Law, but you can see how they would have carved the flower patterns, and then they would have had the columns and all of that. So these would have been put at this site, or they would have been built by the original people. This one predates the Khmer settlement. This one goes back to what they say the 7th century. And then they think that they built another ruin on top of it, but it is long gone. It's crumbled all the way. And you can see the outer wall. Now the archaeologists say that this was built by the Dharavati settlement back in the 6th or 7th century. And it resembles what they say Wat Klang, which is a old settlement over in Ratchaburi. I've been to that one. There's a market there now. And it was quite cool to see. It was in a little better shape than this one. So you can see. Now there was a sign back there that said don't climb on this monument. So I think that might be what they're saying up there. And they've restored a little bit. There's some of the ties over here taking a look at it. And you can see the bases. And it had an outer wall and it's underneath this little lean-to. You can see some of the plaster work. And what they say is that this would have been decorated with animals. It would have had monkeys and lions. Like right there looks like the base of a monkey. And so in those little cubby holes on the bottom, they would have had the flower designs, and then they would have had animals all around here. Oh, this would have been spectacular. And this was abandoned in the 13th century. So all of this just succumbed to the jungle. Yeah, it's been really cool to see whenever it was new. But stuff like this, the jungle is hard on it. You can see some more of the patterns. And just think about how many man-hours went into this. This is amazing. So this is 28.5 meters by almost 44.5 meters. So it's shaped like a rectangle. And you can see all the little figures. Yeah, that is so great. Hey, check that out. Then this over here looks like a lion. Oh yeah, that's super fantastic. So you can see all these little stucco motifs. And it just goes all along here. Yeah, these are really interesting. That one's kind of bulging off the wall. And it's just surrounded by the outer wall and then all the other little ruins. And over there would have been a pond. There would have been ponds scattered all in here for water storage. And then you're just looking up at the prong itself, or the jetty. And then they had another row up above. You can see where they've restored them right there a little bit. Yeah, that's great. And then some more over here. Some more of the Thai tourists have come to take a look at this. And they're watering the grass. And there's one more little prong we'll go look at right over there. That's the next thing. And that's that first prong we looked at. You can see all the bases. Now it's just kind of a pile of bricks. That looks like maybe a naga right there on the corner. All right, let's go over to that little prong right there. So this one here is down to the base, but they did put a couple of the laterite stones back up. And then they have some of the stones over here that was used for the lintels. And they're just all through here. So if you could imagine this, there would have been buildings. I mean, this would have been a city out here surrounded by this moat. So there would have been people all in here. They'd have been farming outside of the moat. They would have had their whole daily lives going on in here. Much, much different than now. Now it's just trees and some stones laying out here. This one right here is called the Prong Song Pi Nong Monument. And it's Pra Song, or Prang Song, which means the two little prongs. Song is two in Thai. And they say this one here was built in the Khmer style. So this was built in the 11th to the 12th century. So the Khmer built this here. And they say that they used stones from another ruin to build this. And this one's in quite nice shape compared to that first one. You can see kind of the arches up there, the laterite stones. And you can see how they carved those laterite stones, so that would have been all in a pattern, and they would have covered it in stucco. This one had the faux doors also. So we're on the east side over here, and they would have had a perimeter wall around, and then an outer wall over here. And then another faux wall. So the west side would have had the opening. Oh, that is really cool looking. So they've came in and they've restored. You see the lintel, and then those colonnades, or whatever they called them, the stones on the side. And here is the main prong. So it's in terrible shape, but they have done a little bit of restoration to it. And then there would have been a Buddha image right there, and then some of the original stones from here. Yeah, this site here is interesting enough, but there's just not a whole lot here. The condition of the ruins is not the best you'll see, but it's still really interesting to come out and take a look around. Let's take a look inside of here. So whenever this was built, okay, so has the stone slab. That's what they say they took from another ruin. And in here, they would have had Buddhas in these three little cubbies. And this originally would have been that little stone of Shiva, where they would have came, and it's that little monolith, or obelisk, whatever you call it. And this would have went up to a prong, and it would have been all enclosed. Now it's open to the weather. Yeah, this is nice. It would have been gigantic. Oh, the Khmer did not mess around when it came to building stuff like this. And then here is the smaller prong, and it's right next to the big one. You can see the lintel that's been restored. It's not the original, but it's still quite cool. This would have been how it looked originally. And then you would have been able to come in here, and there would have been their deity and stuff. Now there's a tree growing up there. Yeah, one more look at this. There's that little one, and then the big one. It would have been quite interesting to see when it was new. Now usually they are all balanced, but it doesn't look like there was another prong over here. So it's kind of strange that there would have been just two. Usually there's three. And then there would have been another pond over there. And we got some workers and some more tourists coming over to do some stuff. And over here, this is one of the ponds, or what the Khmer called the beret. They would use this for water storage for the city. The Khmers were masters at two things. They were masters at doing water storage and carving bricks. They were stonemasons that were just at an unbelievable level. Now they're using this beret to irrigate the grass, water the grass here. Here we got another one of the little stone, little water storage things. And over there is the first ruin we looked at, and then there's the second one. Yeah, this is really nice. It's under these trees. It's quite peaceful out here. And there's another little shuttle coming. This one here, they're loaded up, waiting on something. And we got some maintenance workers over there on the tractor. And another maintenance guy coming in. And so we're back in the little golf cart, heading back. And there's that beret. Security guard out here. Yeah, just amazing how many small little ruins that are out here. It'd be too big a job to restore everything. Plus, I mean, it was just in such terrible shape. I mean, being abandoned for, 700-800 years. Well, I thought that guy was going to just take us back to the other part, but he ended up taking us all the way out of the exit. Well, I jumped on that little golf cart again. I thought he was going to take us back to where he picked me up, but he took us all the way to the parking lot out of the park. And over here, before you go into the park, is a couple of these small little ruins. So I didn't look at the stuff over there by the visitor center because he just blasted right on past. So let's take a look at this over here really quick, and then we'll call it quits. So here's the base of probably a prong. And then over here, the same, another little base. And then over there would have been a building. That one's in probably the best shape. These are just down about 5 or 6 stones high. Not a whole lot to see, just the laterite stones that they would have quarried. But you can see the construction. So this would have been the laterite base. They used the bigger stones down here. And I don't know where the quarry was at. When I went to like Sukhothai and what's the other one? There's another Khmer site over there. The quarry was really close by, so I don't know where they would have quarried these, but there's mountains all around. And then this would have been a little building. You can see the laterite stones, and these columns would have supported the roof probably, and they would have been covered in stucco. I'm not sure what they would have done with that. That might have been up at the peak. And then, I don't know, they have some more of these little stones sitting inside. Yeah, this would have been probably a shrine or something like that here. So that's going to finish our little visit over here at Si Thep Historical Park. This is a nice enough place. It's not the best one I've been to. I mean, if you're going to go to some of the good ones, I would say probably the one over in Buriram is the best. It's the one up on the hill. This one it's a big area. I mean, it's 5 acres here, or 5 square kilometers, but most of the ruins are just down to the base, so there's not a whole lot to see. What you see is nice enough. It's just, there's not a whole lot of detail, and the restoration work is not that great. So anyway, it was still fun. I'm glad I stopped by. I got to see it. I always like going out and seeing this. The Khmer were here. They were so important in this region, and they abandoned this site. And I'm not exactly sure why this site was abandoned. I mean, I don't think they really know, but I mean, there was a lot of internal strife in the Khmer Empire at the time. That's when Sukhothai declared its independence from the Khmer, and around that time. So there was a lot of fighting, and then the Ayutthaya kingdom, you know, attacked the Khmer, and the empire completely collapsed. So anyway, the history of this region is fantastic. I really like stuff like this. And if you like it, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. That's what I do. I go show you things that I see and tell you a little bit about what I know. Today's journey brought us all the way out here in Phetchabun Province. And this is a site that not too many people know about. Even people from the area really don't know anything about it. It's just kind of out here in these fields. So anyway, if you like it, smash like, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. And if you've been here, let me know, or if you want to come, if you have any questions, ask me. And until next time, from over here at Si Thep Historical Park, remember guys, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.